The Fanatic Brackets Season 3, Episode 10. I am Nick, your host. With me, as always, is my co-host, Joel. Today, we are joined by the host of the Wrestling Today podcast, George. How are you, George?
Pretty good, man.
Jorge,
Pretty
or
good.
Jorge or George? I'm sorry, I didn't ask that before.
Jorge, it doesn't matter. George, Jorge,
Sorry.
whatever's easiest.
Yeah, perfect. Glad to have you on the show. You had chosen the topic of the best WWE title win. I know we've done the topic of the best first WWE title win. Decided to change it up a little bit. Was there a reason that you chose this topic specifically? Because this is
Um,
also a completely different participant list that we've gotten in the past.
oh yeah, meaning. When I first saw that topic, the first WWE title wins, I was like, man, I could change it up a little bit, do the first title wins because there's been so many big pops in history
Yeah,
of wrestling. I mean, if you think of ECW, WCW, TNA, AEW, all of them. But me growing up, Attitude Era, there was a lot of moments back then, from then to now, even early
yeah,
'80s. If you want to go back that far.
yeah. Completely understand. A lot of these are great pops. We'll get into it once we get into the bracket. But for those listening who have not heard of one of our episodes before, the concept of our show is we will go matchup by matchup, each choosing which participant had, in this case, better WWE title win, along with our reasonings why we chose that specific participant. Whichever participant gets 2 to 3 votes, obviously between the three of us, we'll move on to the next round up until the finals. There's no specific way to look at this. It's our opinion, our opinions only. So uh, whatever we feel like it was the best in our opinion, that's what we'll go with. But yeah, since that's out of the way, let's get right into the bracket. Jorge, since you are a guest first, we're going to start with you with this first matchup. We have Roman Reigns' win in 2020 Payback versus Chris Benoit's WWE title win in 2004 WrestleMania 20. In your opinion, which WWE title win was better and why?
Oh man, this one right here. A lot of people are like it's controversial because Crispin Wall, right?
Yeah.
But he had a great title win. The moment with him and Eddie after he won the title, it was just like a feel good story. But Roman Reigns, start of the Tribal Chief era, like he came back from the leukemia, all that, came back 4-year reign almost. Oh, so I mean, this one's a tough one. But if I had to pick one just because of the significance of the era and all that, it would be Roman Reigns because, he went from the guy that nobody wanted to being the guy that everybody wanted to be pretty much that spot. And all the fans are just like, wow.
Completely
So I'm gonna have
understand.
to go with that one.
Good choice. Good choice. Joel, do you agree with him or are you going to go with Chris Benoit?
Yeah, I have to agree with him. Like the Benoit win was very big at the time, and it was a great moment with him and Eddie at the end, and that was supposed to be like the start of the new era, like the smaller guys winning the belt, and it kind of just went back to normal after everything kind of settled down. Roman Reigns' win, as much as I didn't like it at the time, it did begin the domino effect of the tribal chief
Yeah.
character. It was I did hate that like returned at SummerSlam a week later there was a pay-per-view. So you kind of like already knew it was gonna happen, but at that moment we didn't know the significance of it. So yeah, I have to go with Roman Reigns.
I would agree with both of you. I'm glad you brought up that point, Joel, of like we didn't know it at that time because I was going to say the same thing. Like we didn't know how important the Roman Reigns the tribal chief gimmick was going to be at that time
Yeah.
until years later. Um, I he pretty much foreshadows his future without us realizing it because if you remember at that time for that story, he had to like sign the contract. He never did until the last minute.
Yes.
And then he waited till like mid match to sign it, and he won it in like a couple of minutes. I think that was pretty much like that summed up his entire run as tribal chief with the championship. He did his thing his own way without anyone telling him what to do. Again, we didn't realize it, but that's how it went down. Um, so again, it's just look back at it because remember rewatching this match. I'm like, damn, this was the tribal chief gimmick wrapped up into one. Um, Again, we just didn't realize it at that time. So the importance of that, I feel like I have to go with Roman Reigns winning that one. Um, and again, it's just the impact that he's had within the next 4 years. It was a big factor into WWE's future. So Shout Roman Reigns. Shout out Roman Reigns. Next matchup, we do have Eddie Guerrero's 2004 No Way Out win going up against Triple H's 2002 victory at WrestleMania 18 after he returned from his quad injury. Joel, I'm going to start with you with this one. Which title win do you think was better and why?
Yeah, this is about to get really biased real quick. Probably just for this round, okay? I have to go with Eddie. I know the significance of the Triple H return, winning the title at 18, and then the next couple years just being the Triple H era. But the Eddie win was different. It was at No Way Out. It was random. Like no one really counted him in. Brock was on top of the world in a storyline with Goldberg. It was like this is perfect. Like Goldberg, Brock, title match, Mania. Like this just makes sense. And then them to just throw the curveball at everybody, Eddie winning, and then kind of it was somebody that no one really thought was going to win the title. Then going into the storylines with Kurt and everything unfolding and actually him helping make the JBL character for John Cena to go up against, I think is more significant than the Triple H run because Triple H won so many titles. I feel like the 0-2 one was just the kickoff of it. After the injury, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I just think personally Eddie Guerrero's was more important.
Good pick. Jorge, do you agree with him, or do you going to go with Triple H with this one?
Man, so everybody knows how I feel about Triple H. That's my guy. But
Listen,
I
love
agree with
Triple H.
him. I agree with Joel here. Eddie's win was significant for the little guy because obviously after him, a lot more little guys have won. You know, you can name them: Ray, Daniel, CM Punk, just to name a few guys, right? To win after him, and but don't get me wrong, Triple H's return in 02 after the quad, he came back like super jacked, looking like
Yeah.
a Hulk and everything. And people thought he wasn't going to come back because quad injuries in wrestling was like unknown. So yeah, as much as I want to go for him, I'm just gonna have to go with Eddie on this one.
Good choice. I think we're going to go with another sweep here as well. I'm also going to choose Eddie. I feel like this story was. I mean, I kind of agree with Joel in a sense where like this wasn't really Triple H's first or big. Like you could say it was a big win, but he was already like a main eventer at that time. I would say he was already on that stardom, that rise. Eddie,
Yeah.
this story with him versus Brock was literally the only logical story that you consider close to David versus Goliath. The little guy versus the completely jacked guy that no one was able to stop at that time. Didn't expect Eddie Guerrero to be the one to defeat him, but he got it done. Um, you know, during this match, from what I saw it recently again this week, and I was like, Eddie was like being manhandled. You saw that like dominance that Brock was giving him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if you were watching it at the time, I mean, I didn't watch it at the time, but I'm sure a lot of people were like, "Oh, Eddie's not winning this. There's no shot." But for him to be able to come back and actually win it, it's like what it doesn't get any better than that. The celebration afterwards, the whole promos before the match that led up to it. We all saw that famous promo that he cut on Brock about his personal life. If you weren't invested in Eddie at that time to be able to say I'm rooting for him, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that whole setup was just amazing. It was perfect from start to finish, even before the match even started. So I'm gonna have to go with Eddie on this one. Again, I agree with both of you with Triple H. He's the guy, but I mean, it was kind of like a John Cena situation, right? Like no one thought he was gonna come back that soon, in a way, for that quad injury that Triple H suffered, right?
Yeah,
I
well,
feel like
nobody
that
thought he was gonna come back. Period.
period.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
remember when he got injured, they just stopped mentioning him. It wasn't
Yeah.
until he started like the vignettes started coming. I was like, oh shit, like
Oh
I
crap,
forgot
he's
about
coming
Triple
back.
H. Yeah, like oh okay,
And it
dope.
happened right before WCW invasion with ECW, and then he missed that whole
Yes, he missed
chapter
the
and then came
whole
back
division
right
scene.
after. But he
Yeah.
has some good honorable mentions on this list after winning the title
Yeah.
and everything, after coming back.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Of course. But yeah, I mean, this is also the start of the game too. So like, this was literally the different
Yeah. The
variation of Triple
cerebral
H.
The baby
assassin.
face game.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
baby
yeah.
face game.
So I mean, I mean, people can make the argument with Triple H at this one. I wouldn't be mad if he won it, but Eddie Guerrero, there's no bigger babyface storyline than that. in my
Definitely.
opinion. So it had to be that. Next matchup on the bracket. Oh, two sweeps already. Wow. Next matchup on the card on the bracket is Kurt Angle's 2001 Unforgiven win going up against Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania 36 and 2020 victory. I'll start this one off. Again, this was another match I had to go back and rewatch. It was a good match. I'm not from what I've researched. People said that him versus Austin at SummerSlam was much better than this one. I didn't see that match, so I can't really agree with that. But this one was a good match. Angle had a huge pop when winning it. So I'm gonna go with him. A bigger moment. I mean, it sucks that McIntyre had to win his during the pandemic where no one was around to see it, but I'm sure it would have gotten a huge reaction regardless if people were there to watch it. Like he won the Rumble that year. But the whole sequence of like the emotion that I got from Kurt Angle's match, where Steve Austin was about to set up the the stunner, and then it was an automatic reversal to the ankle lock. I feel like they had great chemistry in the ring and helped Angle a lot with how the crowd reacted to him afterwards. So I'm gonna have to go with Kurt Angle with this one because I felt like this was his first one, right? Was this his first one, or did he win one before this?
I
I
think it
feel
was
like
his first one.
This was
yeah,
his first. Yeah.
this was his
This was a
first.
year after he like a year and a half after he debuted.
So that makes it even much better to think because like if this was his first one,
Yeah.
then what a good way to put to beat Austin for.
Yeah.
So a great start to his career for the WWE winning the title. So why not choose Kurt Angle? Jorge, do you agree with Kurt Angle or are you going to choose Drew McIntyre for this one?
As much as I don't want to, I'm gonna have to disagree this time.
Ooh,
I'm gonna have to go with Drew because you said though, because of vid, there was nobody there when
yeah.
he won his title. But if we look at the Rumble pop when he won the Rumble, which was a stacked Royal Rumble, because the return of Edge was in that one
Mhm.
as well. And everyone was probably like, "Oh man, Edge is in the final three. He's probably gonna win this thing."
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at that kind of pop with Drew winning, if fans had been there, I think he would have gotten an equally bigger pop. Um, but Kurt Angle's always been my guy. Always liked how he wrestled, and like you said, him and Austin, the smoothness of the match, the transitions, Austin being able to keep up with someone like Kurt was, you know, pretty amazing to see. But with Drew, his pop would have been bigger. But with his win, he did carry the company in the COVID era and the dome and all that with no
Yeah.
fans. He did his thing while he had the title in that time frame. So I would have to go with Drew to give him his props on that one.
I can respect that. That's a good choice. That's a good choice. Joel, you're in the hot seat here early. Do you
Yo,
agree with Drew McIntyre or Kurt Angle?
to be honest, this is a tough one, man. This is a tough one for me. McIntyre like held down COVID. Great pop at the Rumble. Everyone knows at Mania he would have got a crazy pop winning
Yeah.
that title. But then also you have the Kurt Angle side that's like, yo, a year and a half after he debuted, hometown win, kind of gave, the happy baby face won the title after 9/11, the All American
Mm.
character. You know what I mean? Like, so both title reigns were important at the time. But I'm gonna go with Drew just because having to not only winning the title but having to carry it throughout COVID, no one watching. Like wrestling
Yeah.
fans are watching. No really outsiders are watching during that time. And he kind of had to make that title important with no one in the crowd. Like that's really tough to do. And I hate he hasn't gotten a title run in front of the crowd and
Yeah.
it disgusts me. But that's another story, especially that's been 5
Ooh,
years later.
I can agree with that
Um
one.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and I'm
Same
not the
here.
biggest Drew fan. So for me to say that, it's foul what they've done to the guy. But I have to go with McIntyre just for him for the title win, yes, but also what followed it and how he held
Yeah.
down that company and no one really gives him credit for it. Because even though we all talk about, oh, the tribal chief started in COVID, he didn't show up till September. There was still 5 months of TV that had to be done before tribal chief Roman showed up, and Drew was holding it down every single week.
He
So I gotta
was.
go with Drew.
That makes sense. That is so true. That is so true. He was a big factor of that. That
I hate
although
that he
sometimes
doesn't
I
get the
don't want to.
credit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though sometimes I don't want to look back and be like, God, I hated that era so much because
Oh
it was looking.
man.
Oh, it was bad.
It
Yeah,
was.
it was.
Looking back at it, like at the time we enjoyed it because it was nothing else. But
Yeah.
now we
Yeah.
look back at it and was like, wow, like
Man, then if you look back at those little documentaries they do on WWE TV, whatever they want to do
yeah,
now,
Yeah.
I mean, those documentaries showed how his story played out. He was stuck in his hometown or whatever, had to
which
fly
is
back to the
nuts.
States because everything was being shut down. He's being told at the last minute, like, hey, no one's going to be there when you go for your title. And
Yeah,
it's like,
that
oh,
sucks.
crap.
Imagine being
That
told that, like, yeah, no one's gonna be there to root for you, man. That sucks. That sucks.
insane.
It is. Um,
But they
but
believed
yeah,
in him for a minute.
they did. And yeah, so do I. I mean, I still do. I feel like he'll win it again eventually, but I don't know. It's been
It took
5
too
years.
long. It took too
Yeah,
long.
that is
We'll probably
true.
get CM Punk versus Drew soon, though.
Yeah,
Maybe,
probably.
maybe.
And Drew just taking another L. Sadly,
Possibly.
sad times.
Possibly. But next matchup we have on the bracket, we have Cody Rhodes' victory from WrestleMania 40 last year, going up against Batista's WrestleMania 21 victory in 2005. I'm going to start with Joel. Who do you think was the better win here, Cody Rhodes or Batista?
We know the obvious answer of what everyone wants to say. I'm going Batista 05.
Okay.
Batista 05. That was the start of this is a new look in town. Is Batista, Cena. These are the two guys that are gonna lead us into the future. Despite how much they believed in Batista at the time, they put him in that spot. Beating Triple H at the main event of WrestleMania means that they believed in Batista a lot, especially giving him the main event match when Cena was facing JBL the same night.
Yeah.
Does make sense. He won the Rumble. Like logistically, it makes sense. I'm gonna put that more important because it kicks off the new generation after the start of the Ruthless. So of course the Ruthless, it was big on Triple H, Shawn Michaels with that title. Him winning that and bringing it to SmackDown introduces new characters, introduces new storylines, and smaller guys because of what Eddie did the year before. So I have to go with Batista there. I love the Cody win. Finish the story. I know the deal, but I gotta show Batista love because that was a big win at that time. And again, Triple H giving him that dub at Mania, that's a big one. Because of course we know back in the days, Triple H was iffy with people. So him actually being like, yeah, Batista's the guy, shows a lot.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Jorge, do you agree with him? We're going to go with Cody Rhodes here.
Man, so we're talking about two guys that overuse pyro like crazy.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
Batista coming out the
Yeah.
cooler one. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all can't lie. Y'all both done it in front of the mirror. Come on.
Yeah. I have. I have.
1,000%.
I still do it.
But Joel was correct. You know, the significance of Batista's win going over a guy like Triple H back in those days. But Cody's win over the tribal chief, who at that point was unbeatable after how many thousand something days, right?
Yeah.
Finishing the story took how many years? But in this case, I am going to have to go with '05 Batista because, you know, it was a significant moment into a new territory for WWE, moving away from what they were doing before to using two guys who were fairly new in the business, you know, especially to Batista being a little bit older than the two. And they still had the confidence to put that on him. And he carried it very well during his entire time carrying that title.
You
Yeah,
did
of
make a good
course.
point because
Yeah.
back then they didn't really look at older guys like that. It's now that we have 39-year-old world champions. Back
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that wasn't like that. Like, and also like because people didn't like it's a whole evolution with people training their bodies different, but we didn't have that back then. So then
Yeah.
that actually is a good point. I'm looking at Batista and saying, yeah, put the title
Yeah,
on.
He
because
was, yeah, you didn't realize his age at the time. I was like, wait, he was a
yeah,
little bit older than
Yeah.
usual.
yeah, because I think Cena was like what 20 something. Batista
Yeah,
was
he was
like
still in his
in
20s.
his Cena. Batista was like in his like mid 30s, almost like late 30s.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
like he's up there. I didn't know he was like almost 60, and I was like, what?
Yeah, he's almost 60
That's
now.
actually
Yeah.
crazy.
He's older than
Like,
Triple H, I think. I think he's older than
yeah,
Triple H.
It doesn't show that much unless he lets all the gray show. But
Yeah,
Yeah, now
back
that
yeah,
he's
then you
acting and
couldn't.
stuff, you see it more. And it's like, oh
yeah,
wow,
Back
yeah, he
then
does
you
look
couldn't
older.
tell. I mean, tall, like slim waist, big old body. I'm like,
exactly.
that guy.
Yeah,
He
There's no
looked
way that
younger.
guy's like 30 something.
yeah, yeah. He's too fit for his age, so I don't know. I
That's a
can't tell.
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I do agree with both of you though, but I'm gonna also give my vote to Cody Rhodes, mainly because of, well, A, I don't want him to get swept, but B, I feel like the importance of him ending the reign of the tribal chief, something that in our generation today, today's generation, you probably thought that was never gonna happen. Um, I mean, there was word points. I know you and Joel and I, we both talked many times. I thought a while ago that Roman Reigns was going to retire as champion, that he was never ever going to lose it. Um,
Yeah. I wanted
but
to beat that streak though, that title reign.
yeah, but the thing is that everyone thought it was impossible to beat Roman Reigns. Like you needed like the Avengers to beat him.
Yeah.
But be able to have Cody Rhodes, even though I feel like he should have won it at 39. That was the right time to do it. They did wait, and I feel like the match was perfect how they did it. Was it overbooked with the amount of people that were in that match at 40? Yes, but it was still a fun match to watch. It'd be like it took everyone in the story that had, not everyone, but most of the people that were in the story to kind of help and be involved and have everyone take each other down. And then it became one on one with Cody and Roman. Everyone was out of the ring, and Cody was able to do it. And the story of why he came back came alive. So he finally accomplished what he wanted to accomplish. And I feel like that was a big staple in his career to be like, even though he's 2-time WWE champion now, um, he still accomplished what he wanted to do. And I felt that was a bigger story. Not saying that like anything I hated Batista's or that wasn't a big story. Obviously, we just talked about it led into the future with Cena and Batista, the two Royal Rumble winners that year. Um, kind of carried the future of the company at that time. Um, the two biggest names that I grew up on, which is an awesome moment. But I feel like finishing the story and how they booked Roman Reigns losing was perfect. I wouldn't have changed that in any way, shape, or form. Besides maybe winning it the year before, that was the only thing. But I'm gonna have to give it to Cody. Cody, I feel like I loved it more. I love that one more.
No, I definitely feel you. That was a
I
big
can, I can,
come
I
on.
can see
Yeah.
that. But they
Yeah,
did overbook a lot of people in that match.
they did.
That
Yeah,
was the only thing I hated about that match. I loved the ending and stuff, but just like there was so much tied into it.
yeah. I feel like they were trying to go for that, like, yo, to see how many people we could like fit from the story into this one match.
Yeah,
Trying to go back to that old school SmackDown ending with Stone
Yeah,
Cold, The Rock, everybody coming
definitely.
out.
Yup.
yeah. So I was like, maybe that was their goal. It was like they should try to like see how many people we can tie in from the story. I don't know. It was overbooked, but it was fun. I think I remember not being seated. That's the duration of the match. It's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
hella fun. Undertaker coming out? What? People thought that would have been Stone Cold. Would have been much
Yeah.
better if it was Stone
Should
We,
Cold.
have.
we wanted
Should
Yeah,
have.
Stone Cold.
Should have.
It
Yeah.
should have been
yeah,
Stone Cold.
but
ATV,
that's
everything.
oh
Little
yeah,
beer
yeah.
bash at the end. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
No, that would have been insane. That would have been insane. Um, damn. Now I wish I would have happened. Fuck it, damn.
Damn.
I
What
took a
what should
second.
have
I'm like,
had? What should have been?
What
yeah,
yeah, facts. What should have
I got the
been.
B button. Don't worry. You can say.
yeah. You may use that for not going on.
I love that.
We
Hey,
need that. We need
that's
that
what I
big
do,
button.
man. I'm like, man, I don't give a.
I need one of those. I
We're
need
gonna,
one
we're
of
gonna have
those.
to invest in that, Nick. We're
Yeah,
gonna have to
yeah.
get that.
Every time I'm gonna be pressing that every 5 seconds. Uh, that's a good one. That's a good one. But yeah, Batista does move on to the next round, beating Cody Rhodes' is title win. But next matchup, this is interesting. Next matchup, we have Edge's 2006 victory at when he's cashing his money to make a New Year's Revolution, going up against Rey Mysterio's WrestleMania 22 victory in 2006, the same year. Jorge, I'm going to start with you, man. Which title win do you feel like is better and why?
Dang, I ain't gonna lie. Edge was a piece of on that
He
one.
was.
He was. He was. You can't lie. Rey Mysterio's obviously for obvious reasons was a feel good moment for the little guy again. What a few months after his friend died, Eddie, and then they were just putting crap on top of crap on him, like just making him like win, lose, win, lose.
Yeah.
You might be in the match, you may not be in the match.
Mm.
And then Edge just comes out of nowhere and just, hey, it's happening now after this brutal Elimination Chamber match. So if I were to pick just for the moment, I'm gonna have to go with Edge
Mm.
because
Okay.
kicked off like the Rated R Superstar. It kicked off like the significance of the Money in the Bank briefcase of what you could do with it, not the crap they do these days.
Yeah.
But
He didn't bleed too
that
much.
right there is just was a big moment for a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Joel, do you agree with him? Do you go to Edge or you go to Rey Mysterio?
I agree 100% because at that time I remember flipping out because I was young. I knew that he won the Money in the Bank. I just didn't know how it could be used, when it could be used.
Yeah. That was the
Exactly.
first
So
one.
it was one of those moments that I was like, "Oh no, no way! You could just do this." And then it's of course having like Vince come out and him handing him the briefcase. Like that was a big moment. Ray did do a lot. The little guy winning after Eddie passed and beating Randy and Kurt, like, it's a feel good story. But that Edge cash in just kicked, like Jorge said, kicked off the Rated R Superstar, but also kicked off Money in the Bank and actually knowing what could happen with the Money in the Bank. So now this kind of promoted the Money in the Bank. So at Mania, you were even more excited because the first one was like, okay, you get a title shot. Like,
Yeah.
you don't really think about it. He would walk around with it. He didn't really like sell it that much the first year, but of course, it's the first time. So actually seeing it happen kind of kicked off that Money in the Bank like hype and people actually falling in love with that match.
Yeah, true. True. It's crazy that he never technically won the ladder match, but he's held it twice, right? Like, I think
Oh
both
yeah,
times
the second one was against Mr. Anderson. He took it from him.
Yeah.
but the first one he's won. The first one he's
Yeah,
won.
first one
Yeah,
he won
okay.
the
Yeah,
first
first one he
ever
actually
one.
won.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This
Second
he
one,
actually won.
Mr. Kennedy had it. Mr. Anderson, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
took it because
They did him dirty.
they said
Wow.
shoulder injury.
They thought he was gonna be out for months, but I was like, nah, he was only out for like a week.
He
I
was
like,
just
that's scary.
sore.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
that's
just
wild.
sore.
That is wild. But yeah, I do agree with both of you. I feel like this was I agree with the thing that Jorge said. It was like this was literally the start of the Rated R Superstar. It made that moment made you hate him. It made you want to just not want to see him wrestle. And especially the story that eventually was that happened before this with him and Cena. So the history of their feud before this, and it made sense to cash in on Cena, especially after competing in Elimination Chamber. The visualization of Cena being bloody and like he couldn't really defend himself. So that was literally the perfect time. If you were a Money in the Bank holder, that would have been the like best case scenario to cash in.
Yeah.
Like that's like the dream scenario of a Money in the Bank holder. You know, again, I was like that. He just gave it to Vince. It was like Vince knew that was going to happen. It was like, was Vince involved in this? Did he want it to cash in? I don't know if there was ever like that was even an answer, but like think about that. I was like, the timing of this. Vince just walked out instead of giving it to a referee, like we've seen afterwards. But it was like still I loved Ray's moment. I get it. It was a big feel good moment, a moment that needed to happen. I understand why they had given it to him, but without this cash in, we wouldn't have seen the heel, arrogant version of Edge that we later had seen. So this was the moment that set up his best heel run that we've seen, the main event version of Edge. So shout out to Edge, man.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, man.
And they need to bring back Money in the Bank to WrestleMania. Screw the
Yes.
Yeah,
PLE.
stop the pay-per-views. What
Yeah.
are we doing?
There's no need for that anymore. It's like
You have 2 nights of Mania. The women on one night, the men on the
Yep.
other. Boom. I just
Exactly.
solved it for you. I don't even get paid nothing.
I know, right? Night
yeah,
one, yeah, exactly. Put
You could do that.
put them everywhere,
Yeah.
or have all
like,
the women wrestle on night one and then all the men on night two.
that
Exactly.
too. Like,
Both cards, all card women, all card men.
that
And they
would
have,
be
like,
actually sick, to be
4
honest.
hours of a pre-show. They can't fit some other matches on that card. That
Yeah.
could,
I'm
like,
tired of those
get
4-hour
this-
pre-shows. Makes no
Yeah.
sense. Give us some, pre-show matches.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
Give me a
I miss
reason to watch
those.
the pre-show and not just
People
hearing
talking
the same.
at a table.
Like,
Yeah,
everyone could be on the card, guys. They can all be on the card. Y'all just need to stop the crap.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're
facts.
not ESPN.
exactly.
I don't need
Exactly.
4-hour coverage. I've been watching for weeks.
Like,
It's all right.
Yeah, we know.
exactly. We've been watching like all these recap guys. Like recap. Like we've all seen the show. You don't need to tell me all this crap in
If I'm
3
watching
hours.
Mania, I'm caught up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they do still do throw in video packages right before the matches,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
Well, that
Exactly.
explains everything to me.
They need to bring back
Um,
the old school video packages though. Those were
oh
better.
yeah, a lot
Oh,
better, a lot better.
1000%.
Yeah, so Edge moves on to the next round. Next matchup, we have Shawn Michaels'
What a
2002
matchup.
first the first Elimination Chamber match in 2002, and then the same year Hulk Hogan's 2002 Backlash win. Um, Joel, I'm gonna start with you. Who do you think was better between these two?
All right, cool. First off, Joel in
Talk your talk.
2002 was on. I don't know. I was fucking hype about all this shit that was happening because I was brand new people were coming in. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I didn't get to see Hogan when I was growing up. This was the first time I saw him. HBK2, I started watching in 99. So I only know him as a GM manager. You know what I mean? Like he was
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. So I was a big HBK fan just watching the tapes and stuff. So him actually coming back was monumental for me. Because it was like, yo, this is my favorite guy without actually watching him live. So him coming back like was amazing. Him winning that elimination chamber and getting that moment after coming back was amazing. Hogan winning, depending how you feel about him, it is what it is. It was a big moment because it was the first title win since he came back to WWE. I think it was his first title win since 94, 93, I believe, around there. So him coming back, it's kind of like Punk coming back and winning the title. Like
that's
it's
what I was
one of
gonna
those
compare it to.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and of course, Lil Joel had the Hulk Still Rules bandana. I was in the merch game in '02. Right? I was loving it, but I have to go with HBK just because of the significance of the Elimination Chamber, but then also him being a supportive role on Raw for the rest of the time that he was in WWE and actually helping with the young talent. Never getting a title win again, but at that moment, winning the first one in Madison Square Garden, it was kind of one of those moments that was like, HBK is back. Like,
yeah,
this is real. It's not just a one off at SummerSlam. It's not just, oh, he'll be here and there. This was like, all right, we're all in on HBK and he's back. So I gotta go with HBK.
okay, that's a good one. Jorge, do you agree with him, or are you gonna go with Hulk Hogan?
I am gonna go with Sean here, but I am gonna give my honorable mention to Triple H because he got pinned in both these scenarios.
Oh shit, that is true.
I didn't even
And
realize that. I did not realize.
and it's just like he said, this was like a moment with Hulk Hogan. He like left the company, went to the enemy, the other company, came back after, pretty much trying to bury WWE for a long time. We never thought we would see Hulk Hogan, like you said, CM Punk kind of moment.
Yeah,
They brought him back at, what was it? I think No Way Out or
No
something.
Way Out, yeah.
NWO, all three, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. And, obviously they split up not even a few months after that because it wasn't the same, let's be real.
Yeah.
But Sean, back injury, like Joel said, I kind of knew him as the GM. I never really got to see him in in-ring action, but you knew of Shawn Michaels.
yeah,
And, also Hogan, I saw him in WCW though, but I never got to see him go in the ring with guys that, we saw him go against, like, just to name a few, Brock, Triple H, The Rock. No, we never got the Stone Cold Hogan match.
Yeah, we never
got
that never happened. And there's a lot of matches we could name that we'll go into that topic another day.
yeah, yeah,
But there was just so much around both these guys, Sean especially because back injury, never thought he'd be in a ring, came back after all his issues, and that amazing match with Triple H at SummerSlam to go on to the first Elimination Chamber and win it. And gotta give Triple H props still because I think in that first one he also crushed his throat or something,
Yeah,
and
on the
pretty much
frog
wasn't
splash.
supposed to
Oh my
finish.
god.
He wasn't supposed to finish the match, but he did.
Yeah,
And all those that just crap on Triple H, just remember all these things we're saying about him.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
a guy
exactly.
that's a guy that doesn't put people over. Remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it made sense for
Exactly.
him taking that pin, especially with the whole story with HBK and
Yeah.
leading up to it. So it made sense.
Oh
for
yeah,
him
Yeah.
to
to
make
get
it
the
even
pin.
more like
Yeah,
salt to the
feel
wound.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to agree with both of you. I'm also going to choose HBK because I feel like, I mean, I'm just for the sake of this being the first chamber match. Again, I'm assuming that leading up to this, no one really knew what to expect for Elimination Chamber. Guessing it was the same vibe for Edge winning the cash in or doing the cash in. No one knew what to do, I guess. But I watching this back, this was a fun match to see. Just basing it off the match alone. Just HBK and how great of a showing it was, especially being the first one ever. I think this was the top 3 chamber match that I've seen, um, based on how fun it was and how many cool spots that were given based on all the competitors. Um, you know, this was what I saw online. This was the first Shawn Michaels title win in like years as well. If you compare it to Hogan's, I don't want to say it's as long as Hogan's, but like it had been a couple years since he held the world title, from what I've read. I think he held it like
The
the
last
last
time he
one
held
was 90s, I think.
98. Yeah,
Yeah,
98. So right before Mania 14, that's when he lost it to Austin. And
yeah.
Yeah.
then
So it was still. Was it an injury that he was out for? He was doing the GM stuff, or was it like
His
they had
back
nothing for
injury.
him?
yeah, his
Back
I think
back
it
injury.
was
injuries.
the one he went over the ropes and hit the casket in the casket match with
Oh yeah,
Taker,
yeah, yeah.
and it
I did
crushed a
see that clip.
vertebrae or something.
Ooh, damn, that sucks. But
Yeah.
be able to come back and perform as if he wasn't out for so long. Like if watching that, I was like, oh, was he injured or was he? Why was he out? But to be able to perform and still win it, I feel like I always say this. I say this for everything. Every first of anything in wrestling is important, very important, no matter who wins or what the significance is. It's always important. You know, you look back and be like, oh, so and so won the first ever whatever match it was or the championship that's held. No one's not going to talk about that. Even when Elimination Chamber comes around, I feel like a lot of people talk about Shawn Michaels winning the first one. That always gets brought up during Elimination Chamber season.
Oh yeah.
So
Definitely. The
the
first one's a
importance,
classic.
yeah, exactly. So I feel like that should hold something in wrestling. And just anything, again, just anything that's the first of something in wrestling is always important as the other. So for that, I'm just gonna go with Shawn Michaels. Again,
Definitely agree with you.
yeah, and again, I was gonna say the same thing with Hogan. I'm like, this was after he came back, so he was a little bit older than he was years ago, years prior, but it was, you know, I don't remember. I sometimes I didn't even know that he won it during this time. I was like, wow, did he win it? I've seen photos of him holding like the spinner belt, and I'm like, that doesn't look right. You know what I mean? I'm like, there was I
Yeah,
think
I know that
Batista and
picture. Yeah.
yeah, Batista
I
and
think
Cena gave him their belts, and I was like, this doesn't
yeah,
look right.
they were celebrating it some after a tag team match or something.
Yeah, yeah, and I was like, this doesn't look right at all. It should not be like this. But yeah, shout out to Shawn Michaels though. I feel like that was a important match for him to win. But yeah, next matchup we do have Mankind winning his first ever championship in 1999 on Monday Night Raw. Great moment. Um, but going up against Daniel Bryan's WrestleMania 30, 30 win in 2014. Um, I'll start this one off. I'm gonna go
Start
with
off, bro.
I'm I based on your reaction, Joel, and I think you know who you're gonna choose.
Who are you
But
gonna choose?
I'm gonna go with Daniel Bryan. I feel like I know this was not the original story going into it. You know, obviously that year Batista won the Rumble. From what I remember hearing is that Batista wanted to hold both titles, but then and obviously people were upset that Bryan had won it. Didn't win it, which ultimately changed the course of plan. Pretty much the same thing of how I think last year people wanted the "We Want Cody" stuff. Um, so the fans took this matter into their own hands and be like, "Nah, we don't want Batista. We want Daniel Bryan." And the whole year, let me tell you that even though I didn't like Batista winning the Rumble, I think this was better off happening with Daniel Bryan winning because this is one of the top 3 underdog stories in wrestling. Um, the guy that everyone was beloved that never really got an opportunity to win the big one yet. You know, he was a fan favorite since the moment he got onto the Nexus. You know, when he came back, I was like, everyone was talking about Daniel Bryan returning. He was immediately given the United States Championship. He was on a roll, but was never given that fair opportunity. I know Vince doesn't like the smaller guys sometimes, but in this case, I feel like Daniel Bryan had earned it and was rightfully given, even though the year later he should have won the Rumble again. Um, but that's a whole different story for another day as well. But I feel like this whole story of the Yes movement and how big that was into the wrestling industry, nothing could top that. I love the Mankind moment because that was also a fan favorite. winning a title on a big stage on a Raw, and how big of a pop that was, and how important to the business that was for him. To be able to hold the big one and everyone just celebrating with him in the ring, that also meant something. But the impact the Yes Movement had on Daniel Bryan's career in WWE, I'm not saying he wasn't a big wrestler prior, but in his WWE career, that elevated him so much to continue to be in that world title scene, main event scene going forward. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Daniel Bryan. And I did see a story. I know he had won the world title like I think 2 years before when he cashed in, but like supposedly that cash in wasn't supposed to happen. From what I was seeing online, like he was supposed to fail the cash in, but because
Yeah, I
of
have
Mark
read
Henry,
something like that. Yeah,
yeah, because Mark Henry got injured, so like, you know what, let's cash it in anyways.
they just
So they
threw it
didn't,
on him.
yeah, so they didn't even look at him as a world title main eventer at all
Yeah,
until this moment. I think this was his big break. So I'm going to have to go with Daniel Bryan. Joel, what do you have, Daniel Bryan or Mankind,
I'm going
and why?
Mankind. I'm going Mankind. I love the Daniel Bryan moment. I love the Yes movement. I was all behind it. I just hated how they treated him after.
Yeah,
But that's neither here or there. That moment was amazing. But the Mankind moment, I feel, was so unpredictable on a random Monday Night Raw. Like it was something no one was thinking was gonna happen, and then it kind of changed the fate of pro wrestling. We didn't like no one knew at that
yeah,
moment. Now it's one of the most famous nights in
Oh
wrestling.
yeah.
yeah,
Um, everybody changing the channel and stuff, but like that was such a big moment. You could see like the fans just as he wanted. Like I feel like Daniel Bryan, the fans were with him, but like after he beat Triple H, we kind of all knew he was winning the main event.
yeah,
And then also like the Taker losing the streak kind of like dampened it a little bit. People kind of like, okay, yeah, oh, Daniel Bryan win, but that Mankind win, like one of those that just came out of nowhere. They just gave him a title match on Raw just for the fuck of it. Basically, they were like, yeah, here you go. And him actually winning and beating the top star, The Rock, like it was just one of those moments we go back and look at, and it's like, uh, the maybe like you said, Daniel Bryan was probably the biggest babyface moment. This was probably one of the biggest, I think. Everybody was behind Mankind, and then um after just how he held the title and kind of just try to hold on to it, like it was a big moment, and that's why I'm going with Mankind.
makes sense. Makes sense. Jorge, who do you agree with? Do you agree with
Oh
Mankind or
man.
Daniel Bryan?
The hot seat.
The hot
Yeah,
seat.
see when you sent me this list, I was like, man, this one's gonna be the one that's
This
gonna
is a
put me in the
tough
hot
one.
seat. Watch. I'm gonna have to go with Mankind because
Mm,
kind of yeah, I agree with both of you, but just for significance, it's Mankind because WCW, WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it, at the time, beefing. Their WCW's leaking the results on live TV. So, like Joel said, people are flipping to the channel. Daniel Bryan kind of at the beginning of the show when he beat Triple H, kind of predictable, like, okay, we see where this is going. And but with Mankind, Mick Foley, it was a random ass Monday night, like out of nowhere, like, hey, we're giving you a title match, and it's Mankind versus The Rock, like Mankind. The complete opposite of what Vince McMahon sees in a top guy.
yeah, yeah,
He has the tore up shirt, the sweatpants, uh, beat up mask, like a guy that isn't supposed to be champion, missing teeth. Like, do you
yeah.
see that guy being your champion? Like, no. And Daniel Bryan, I kind of agree with Joel. They After he won, they kind of just crapped on his title reign. Didn't really give him much to do. He left, came back with the IC title win. So, like for feel good moments, Mankind is that guy for me because he represents the big fluffy guys.
Thousand
Yeah,
And
percent, a thousand
yeah.
percent feel you on that.
he represents us, and we got to give him that.
That is true. That is true. Oh man,
And
good reasonings.
also that moment for that match, like it was kind of overbooked as well, but with DX out there, the corporation out there, Stone
Oh
Cold coming
man,
out, it was a lot
like
happening. But just the
Stone
moment
Cold hitting
after was
everybody. Yeah.
yeah,
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 You got young beardless Triple H out there, Billy Gunn, everybody just beating
yeah,
up everybody. Shane getting hit, everybody.
that was a big
It
moment. That's
was
kind of
that,
basically
and again, like
WrestleMania 40, just like on a little
Raw,
lower
yeah.
on Raw.
Well,
Yeah,
you know, that's another thing. We don't get those moments on Raws anymore.
yeah,
Like it was a
no,
random
We
Raw,
don't.
random
We
title
don't.
match. Everybody had a role, and they stuck with it. Even the
yeah,
Outlaws were out there
yeah,
for no
Yeah,
reason. Like, hey, this is our guy, this is our homie, Mankind. We're gonna make sure he gets a fair match.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. That is true. Shout out to Mankind. That was still a fun one
yeah.
to do. But next matchup, we do have John Cena's win at WrestleMania 29 going up against Bray Wyatt's 27 Elimination Chamber win in 2017. Jorge, do you want to get this one off? Which one do you feel like is better?
Oh,
Your favorite win and why?
I as much as I want to go with Cena for obvious reasons, right? Him versus Rock, WrestleMania Part 2, or Bray Wyatt, one of the only title wins he'll have. I'm probably gonna have to go with Bray, just because that was the guy that we wanted for a long time to have it, and they finally gave it to us. Did they do good with his title reign? Probably not so much, but the moment itself is like, this is it, because the fireflies, everything surrounding the cage, and then not too long after, unfortunately, he gets released and comes back, and then he passes away. So for that's why I'm going to go with him on that one.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I'm gonna go with Bray as well. I remember seeing this chamber match, not even thinking that he was winning it. I remember that was the year that Orton won the Rumble. So I was like, is it gonna be Cena versus Orton again? Because Cena was champion entering the chamber. So I was like, oh, cool. We get to see that match again. So I didn't expect Bray to win it. So I guess that was like the unpredictability of it, of like him winning his first one at a moment where I don't want to say no one, but like I didn't think it was actually gonna happen until it happened. Um, so I love the fact that he wanted. Did they do him dirty a little bit after that? Yeah, I believe he lost it at Mania to Orton. So that was also, they did him dirty as well with how they booked his reign. Um, but again, with him, he was able to bounce back and like be a bigger star than before. So I don't really see this as an issue with how, like, compared to Daniel Bryan. I love this match as well. The ending was pretty cool with how AJ Styles was going to do the phenomenal forearm, reversed it into a Sister Abigail. Um, and then that was a great way to finish it. And it was a feel good moment. Again, the whole visualization afterwards of him holding it, and then the story was awesome with him versus Orton. But again, they could have done a lot more with it. That was just a weird year to have. That WrestleMania was weird with like booking changes and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so that was just a weird time to win it. Great moment. I'm not shitting on the moment. The moment was awesome. I loved it. But
Yeah.
it was just an awkward time to build for WrestleMania. Again, Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho got cut. Not cut, but they did. It was
They
supposed to be
changed
the
the whole
universal
thing.
shit. Yeah, they changed a lot. So I feel like there was some stories that weren't. I don't know what the big story was of that year. There wasn't like a big moment besides the Roman beating Undertaker that was unnecessary.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
yeah, that I was sorry. Yeah, just don't go there. But like, it was just a weird mania. The only thing that I remember that was good was Shane versus AJ Styles. That was it.
Shane versus AJ. I still can't believe
That was his
AJ
best
has
match.
had this long career in
Man,
WWE, and his best Mania match is against Shane McMahon.
Yeah, and look at his opponents.
man.
Shout out Shane, man.
Yeah,
I wish
They
so
should
luck
just
to Shane.
throw AJ in NXT. Let's just be real. He'd have better matches with those guys.
At this point, yeah.
probably, or TNA. Either one's fine. Either one's
Hey,
fine.
run it back.
Yeah,
Let's run it back to
facts.
TNA days.
Why
Exactly.
not?
We have a lot of
Fuck it.
honorable mentions there.
Yeah, I agree. Joel, do you agree with Bray Wyatt? You can go with John Cena.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt. Like I remember, like Nick said, like it wasn't really, it wasn't built for him to win. Like they weren't really showing focus of him. The only focus we had was that he was teaming with Randy at that time. Like they were still
Oh,
he
yeah.
was still part of the Wyatt family. So now thinking back to it, makes sense that he won. But at that moment, no one was thinking Wyatt, especially the way that they had treated him and was like, they know he's the guy we want. They're not gonna give it to us. Like that makes no sense. But I remember actually watching it, and like Nick said, the finish, him going
Yeah.
up for the forearm, and Bray
Oh,
actually catching him and was like, no way they're going, like, no shot this is happening,
Yeah.
and actually jumping out my seat when Bray won. So I gotta go with Bray. Cena, of course, it was a great moment. But Bray was just like Jorge said, it was our guy. Like, we've been wanting Bray for how long? And
Yeah.
he finally got the title and was like, this is how it's supposed to be. And then of course he lost a month later, but that's another story. Um, but yeah, they could have done so much with him and
So
Randy,
much.
especially Randy being part of the Wyatt family. They could have told that story for a little bit. I get it,
oh yeah.
Mania, you want to rush it, but that was
That
the
could have been
only
a
thing. But
that could have been
I
a
gotta go with
5-month
Bray.
program right there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That could have been a triple
Ran-
threat. Anything.
Randy
But
helping him win, and then out of nowhere RKO after one of the
Yeah,
matches and setting that up.
yeah.
exactly. They decided just to rush it. I don't know why.
Yeah. That was a
But that
forgettable
moment
one.
was amazing.
It was.
That merch would have been selling like crazy.
Did they ever
WWE
make merch for
hire
that?
us,
What?
We're gonna get
Yeah.
you.
I don't. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I don't think they've ever made merch for that. That
Nope.
the
No.
team. That would have been insane though. I would have bought
Well,
some of
they
that.
did make the Fiend belt after like his other win, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's really all they pushed it to.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Which is it's
Nothing
hard to
shows love to
find
that
now.
title one.
That
Yeah.
thing is hard to find, man. Like, dang.
The belt, the Fiend belt.
Yeah.
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 I don't think they sell it anymore, but
They don't. They don't.
Yeah. So
you
it's
gotta
more
you
of
gotta
just like
find
having to
someone.
find it in the wild.
Yeah.
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 I
That
almost
is
got
so.
lucky one time, but the lady sold it last minute from under
Oh
me.
Ah,
man.
you were close. Damn.
Damn.
That's.
One day you gotta
Two
find
hundred
it.
bucks. $200. The guy cheated, and she was just selling all his crap.
Oh
So I
Oh
was like,
wow.
man,
shit.
I already had
200.
these bills. He had these. I was like, oh man, I want that Fiend, and
I
I was
know.
getting ready to
Is
go. She's like,
crazy.
oh, some other guy came with a better offer.
Damn.
Oh man. But yeah, first round is done. On to the second round. First matchup of the second round, we have Roman Reigns payback win in 2020 versus Eddie Guerrero's 2004 No Way Out win. Joel, I'm going to start off with you with this one. Which one of these two do you feel like was better and why?
You hate me, don't you, Nick?
I do. No.
Um
Someone's got to start off.
Listen, I gave one of my reasons for Eddie in the first round. That moment has a special place in my heart, but the significance of the Roman Reigns win, like we talked about in the first round, the domino effect,
Yeah.
and what led us to the wrestling boom was Roman winning this belt. So I have to go with Roman.
Ooh, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Jorge, do you agree with him or are you going with Eddie Guerrero?
I agree that you hate me now too.
No.
As
Turning
much as
heel right now.
Eddie's as much as Eddie's moment meant to a lot of fans that were around to see it in person or live, Roman's win is probably more significant because of what it set off for the past few years of everyone chasing that dub against Roman and him being the key player in a lot of stories. So I'm gonna have to go with Roman on that.
Mm. Good choices. I mean, I would have chosen Roman too, but I feel like because again, like you said, the significance of him winning changed the landscape of the business for a while, and changed him too. The Roman Reigns we see now is completely different from the big dog Roman Reigns. So, but the
Big
thing is,
dog.
he's Roman Reigns moving to the next round anyways, but I'm gonna give my vote to Eddie because I feel like that was also an important moment to not just Eddie's career but the business as well. To look at what we said in the first round, the small guy winning it, that was very unheard of back then, and that has a significant role in how some people won the championship after that. We can name a whole list of people, like we said, Ray, Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, etc., and so many other people that we can make a whole bracket of small guys
Yeah, definitely.
doing
we
this,
could.
Oh yeah,
and it all
we'll have
happened
to run
after
that
Eddie.
back again one day.
Yeah, we will.
We have to do that
All
too.
little guys.
Yeah, all little guys. You know what I mean? I'm a little guy myself. I'm 5'7", so you know
I'm
what I mean.
5'6".
We get the struggle. We get the
Yeah,
struggle.
we get the struggle to be
We're
the
all
show one.
Hispanic here. We all know the struggle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Damn
So
our
this
ancestors drinking all that coffee.
exactly, exactly. So the Eddie one, it also means a lot to the business and for some people personally. So again, Roman Reigns is winning anyways this matchup. So I just got to give my vote to Eddie so that way he doesn't go out with
So,
a
I
zero.
love that Eddie
so
didn't get
so
swept. I love
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
so Nick did that for the sympathy votes.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Now
you,
we
you
He's
guys,
getting the sympathy follow.
yo, listen,
He's gonna get those follows after.
there's certain people you can't let go down just 3-0.
Right.
Eddie is one
yeah,
of them. I
because
get it. I
Yeah, he's
understand.
in
definitely.
part, yeah, not just because of like the moment, but like I know on social media people are gonna be like, "Why does Eddie Guerrero get sweat?" I'm like, you listen to the podcast, you'll see. But I'm
Yeah,
not gonna.
there's reasons.
Yeah,
At
there's
least it
reasons for
wasn't the
it.
first round. At least it wasn't the
Yeah,
Oh
first
no,
round.
yeah, he
that would have
took
been a
that
different
first
story.
round.
Yeah, that's a different story if that was the first round. But shout out to Roman though. That nothing could beat that moment at all. I feel like, but we'll see when the bracket goes further. We don't know. But next matchup we do have Drew McIntyre's WrestleMania 36 match against Batista's WrestleMania 21 victory. Jorge, I'm going to start with you with this one. I don't hate you, I promise. But which one do you which one do you think was a
Damn,
better
I
title win?
feel I feel like I'm being picked on here,
I,
but just because I'm gonna have to go with Batista on this one because although it was during COVID for Drew's win, I mean, come on, that's Batista.
yeah.
Like back then, he was the guy that everybody was sitting there doing that, and
Yup.
the significance of his win going forward after that made him, the star that he is today. And you can't deny him. He was in the era, the ruthless aggression era with a lot of the top guys in this industry. Batista,
Definitely.
John, Brock, Randy. Shoot, even Shelton that came out of his class from where they trained at. I think it
Yeah.
was OVW or
Yeah,
FCW,
OVW.
one of those two.
Yeah.
Just that class going into WWE, just that competition, just it just helped him project himself to where he is now.
Yeah. I would agree. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to choose Batista as well. I feel like I love McIntyre, and I do agree what we said in the first round that McIntyre pretty much carried the pandemic era. But Batista, I feel like during those years, there were a lot of main eventers that you could have given any of the world title to, but solidified the fact that Batista was one of the guys, even though we said the first round that he was kind of a little bit older than a lot of people, that he was going to carry the company, be the face of the company for a certain amount of time. Same thing with Drew. I get it. The same situation with Drew, but I just feel like the whole roster at that time was more stacked to be able to trust Batista out of all people. Um, that says a lot more than what Drew McIntyre did. I get it. The pandemic was not the easiest of times to be able to entertain and still go on with everything. But yeah, I think Batista's win carried a lot more weight after that. But Joel, do you agree, or are you gonna go with McIntyre? Is
Oh,
this a
this is
sweep?
a sweep. This is a
Yeah,
sweep. This is a sweep. I love Batista. I'm a Batista mark. Shout out my guy
yeah,
Batista. Growing up, that was my guy.
yeah,
But just adding on to what Nick said, like them putting the faith in him. Also, we didn't get a Batista full promo by himself until like a month before Mania. Like them putting their faith in him, a guy that was just in the background as muscle, not really cutting promos. They didn't give him a manager. They just threw the title on him and threw him out there, and then said, "Let's see what you got." And he kind of knocked it out the ballpark, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So just for that, I gotta go with Batista.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
honorable mentions to his suits that they somehow found to fit him.
Yo,
He was
yeah, yeah.
he was
the
dressing
classic
fly in
white.
those suits.
What about that classic white turtleneck,
Oh
Oh,
man?
man.
that was
With
yeah.
the classic, yo,
I think
he
he
was
looked better
fly. He was
without
fly.
suits. Yeah,
Yeah, he was a fly guy.
he
Shout,
was.
shout
He
out
was.
Batista, man.
There was a
So
point where he was wearing
shout
a
out
vest.
to the tailor for
Taylor's here.
hooking him
Yeah,
up.
They found his size.
yeah. He was also wearing vests without shirts underneath, so it was like he didn't really need to wear anything. You know what I mean?
Yo,
Um,
some of his fashion was questionable, but he pulled it off. Shout out
Hey
Batista.
man.
yeah, it was
He
fire. I
had
was
the
like, damn,
look.
I need to need to get muscle now to fit in
That's
this
what you
stuff.
gotta do. You gotta
Yeah,
bulk up.
You're gonna see all of us in the gym now to get suits like that.
yeah. Day one, just
Yo, catch me
uh,
in 2 years, a year and a half. I got
yeah.
you.
We're gonna
Give me
resurface this outfit.
five
Give
years
me five.
and a stack
Yeah.
of
Yo.
PRT. We're good.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, next matchup we do have Edge's on New Year's Resolution win going up
Oof.
against HBK's first Elimination Chamber match victory. I'll start this one off. I feel like I should give it, even though I said HBK like the first chamber win is important, but I'm going to go with Edge with this one. I feel like again, I'm just gonna resurface what I said in the first round. This whole start of his rated R run is obnoxious. Even though it kind of started a couple months earlier with his feud with Cena, it was like I feel like this really portrayed his arrogance and people really, really hate him. I didn't start watching wrestling until a little bit after, and I immediately hated him from the start. Like the second I saw him, I hated him, and I don't know why. Um, and that says a lot to introducing new wrestling fans. Like you hate this guy, you don't need to know the reason why you hate him. You just hate him because of how he's acting. Like who want to root for this guy that just makes everything about him, um, takes advantage. He's the ultimate opportunist. So we know why. Um, and so it was just this. I don't want to say this made Edge who he is, but it kind of carried his heel run. Uh, this was a stamp. He put the flag down and be like, this is our next big heel. Um, so this was a very big moment in his career to be like, yeah, just get them in that main event scene, you know. So shout out to Edge here. I love HBK's victory again. That holds a lot of importance into the company as well. Something that is always going to be talked about, no matter every single Elimination Chamber season. But also with Money in the Bank, this was the first one with Edge. So these both are the first of something. Edge's felt more importance to the company, so I'm going to go with Edge there. Joel, I'm going to choose you. Is it Edge or HBK?
I love HBK, but it's Edge. Is definitely Edge. That moment, just like you said, it was them putting faith in him. He was a heel before that. He was a radar superstar, but this was them solidifying him. Like, yo, he's just not a mid card heel. Like, we're putting our faith in him. And look at what happened. Of course, the first title run was a little weird, but after that, it kind of picked up. But this was everything that set up for the next couple years of Edge's character and being the ultimate opportunist. Actually cashing in. The HBK moment was awesome. It was awesome to have that feel good moment of like HBK is back, came back from an injury, he won the title, like, but it didn't really do anything past that. Like he won the first Elimination Chamber. He'll always go down as that, and the Elimination Chamber has become something of this, I don't even know what you would call it, like just this phenomenon that's like, yo, this match happens every year. People love it. Like it's just created that love for the match. But I feel like HBK, like it's not like, oh yeah, HBK, you remember this movie did in that match? It wasn't really like that. It was just a moment.
Yeah.
But for Edge, this was just the start of it. This was just the start of it. So I gotta go with Edge.
Okay. Do you agree with us? Is it going to clean sweep, Jorge, or is it going to go HBK?
I'm not going to let HBK go out like that. I
Okay.
do agree with Edge, but I'm going to give it to HBK. All right. Because,
All right.
you think the first Elimination Chamber, you also got to think the first Hell in a Cell also featured HBK.
Yes.
And he also won that. And which also featured a debuting Kane. So,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we got to think about all that.
Insane.
So relate those two first with HBK, but HBK was the feel good moment. But for Edge, the trajectory of his career just completely changed because, a lot of people saw him as that little mid card guy, tag team division for so many years. But after that first one, Money in the Bank, it just went uphill for him. And look where he's at today.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But Edge moves on to the next round. Last matchup in the second round, we got Mankind in 1999 on Raw.
Whoa.
This is Bray Wyatt's Elimination Chamber win. This is interesting. Who wants to start this one off?
I don't know.
Joel has his hand up.
Yeah, Joel, I see your hand up, Joel.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll start it off. Fuck. Damn, this is fucking tough. I'm gonna go with Mankind. Mankind 99 just because of the moment, the feel good moment. Bray's was a moment. I just hate how they capitalized on it, and I felt like it was just for transition. But the moment was like, as a fan, it was like, whoa, I can't believe they're actually doing it with him. Mankind, we know the history of it, but like not even knowing that, like if you just showed this clip to someone, I think if this was their introduction to wrestling, I think this is a great introduction. That Mankind moment of just all this chaos happening and the moment of the boyhood dream has come true for Mankind on a random Raw that no one thought a title was going to change at. It's just all the factors that play into it. I gotta go with Mankind.
Good reasoning. Jorge, do you agree with him? Or are you going to Bray Wyatt?
I'm gonna have to go with Mrs. Foley's little boy here. um,
Yeah.
just because the significance, the history behind it, what was leading into it with again the WCW of shitting on it, and then the complete opposite of what Vince McMahon had always done for his title. Just look at
Yeah.
all the guys before him to that point. It's like, damn, okay. This is an awesome moment for us guys that are just normal guys that just want to be a wrestler one day. And he took it, with a grain of salt all over it, but he took it and ran with it. So
Yeah.
big Foley in this one, Mankind.
Oof. I mean, I agree with both of you, but my favorite wrestler, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, is Bray Wyatt. I feel. I mean, I'm not saying this because I don't feel like he's shouldn't go out with the sweep. But I'm saying this because like I felt like that was a fantastic, great victory to give him that first
Yeah,
championship. Again, we
Yeah.
don't
I,
like
I
what
can agree with
happened
that.
afterwards, but it was just that moment was just so organic and unpredictable. I was like, wow, we just all felt like Cena was going to retain it. Again, Cena was champ.
Yeah.
Cena versus Orton. Who doesn't want to see that again? But Bray Wyatt winning it and having it be like not a fan pushed, one of those non-predictable fan pushed moments like we got with Cody and Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
It was a genuine reaction that a lot of people had that felt happy that he won it. Same thing with Mankind. I'm not saying it's any different. But it's like with him and him being my favorite wrestler, I was like, damn, this is awesome. Did him dirty, but it was awesome. It still meant a lot. And he didn't really go downhill afterwards. He pretty much revamped himself to the Fiend character 2 years later. He still had a great run with Matt Hardy afterwards too.
Yeah.
So he never really went downhill. Um, it was just could have just gone a little bit longer, and he should have won that. That was it. He still won more championships afterwards. He still maintained his level of being a main eventer. So nothing really negative happened afterwards. They didn't do him dirty after that championship win, and that also says a lot of how much faith they had in Bray, no matter what the situation was. He was making them money. Um, so I love Mankind, but I just personally love Bray Wyatt a lot more
Yeah,
in the situation. But Mankind does make it to the next round regardless. So
Not good
yeah,
reasoning. It makes
yeah.
yeah,
sense.
Good. You have a lot of good points though, but
y'all
yeah,
time to
wish
change
they
it
would have
up.
done different on that
Yeah,
one though.
yeah,
You
that
made
is
you
true.
made these brackets pretty tough for us.
Yeah, you
It was
yo.
randomized. It wasn't me.
Yeah,
It was
Nick randomizes
yeah.
it. There's times that's just like,
He
damn.
wrote down like I'm
How
gonna make
did
him
this end
go.
up together?
Yeah, yeah, I fixed it. I'm
Like
sorry, guys. Sorry.
I was like, dang, he's just gonna make us choose. I have to
But
use my brain today.
I know it's a Sunday. But we do have a final four. The Battle of the Spears. We have Roman Reigns in Payback 2020 versus Batista at WrestleMania 21. Jorge, do you want to start this one off, or do you feel like it was better title win between
Okay,
these two, and why?
I'll do it. I'll do this one. I'll be in the hot seat to start this one. Both guys, big,
Both
huge
of these
stars, both
guys.
revamped themselves into a different
Yeah,
trajectory after this, right? But again, the significance of Roman Reigns' win of where wrestling was right after COVID and him winning and then going forward from there with his 4-year reign or whatever, how long it was. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Roman on that one. So Roman for that win.
that is true. Joel, do you agree with him, or do you go Batista?
It's Roman. It's
Yeah,
Roman. It's
yeah.
Roman.
I get it. I mean, I'm gonna agree with you too. I feel like there's no explanation besides what
Yeah,
we've already said.
we've
It's
said everything
Yeah,
about Roman.
yeah,
we've
And
you
it's so
said it all,
recent,
man. You
everybody
said it all.
everyone knows. Everyone knows.
yeah. If you know, you know the reason. Like the transformation of the character was just like we.
Insane.
We're not taking nothing from Batista though.
No,
Yeah,
Big
no.
not
transformation
like
from bodyguard to to the animal.
yeah. He was a bouncer before WWE, from going from a bouncer in a club to being world champion. No matter what his age was,
Yeah,
it was still a great moment. You would not have thought how old he was based off his but it was still a great moment. It still feel a
Yeah.
good moment. But Roman, you can't just go get the transformation of Roman Reigns. That was insane. That was insane.
Oh man.
But now we have the second to last matchup. We have Edge, New Year's Revolution versus Mankind's 1999 Monday Night Raw win. Who wants to start this one off? I mean, I'll start this one off actually. I'll set the tone here. I'm gonna go with Edge. I'm gonna go with personally with Edge because again, he was yeah, you weren't. You didn't. A lot of people didn't like him because how he was, but that's also the point of being a heel. No one's supposed to like him as much as what they're trying to make him be. You know, it's not like nowadays where people love a certain individual because they're doing a good job as being a heel. You genuinely did not like Edge. Like not a single person loved him. Even he was doing a great job, no one loved him. And you maybe rarely found a person that loved Edge, but he just played such a great job as someone who hates Edge. Like MJF now, MJF, no one likes MJF because he commits to that character of like he's a piece of shit, you know. You didn't bleep you didn't bleep that part.
Oh,
Or
my
you
bad.
that bleeper.
That's on me, guys. That's on me.
You wasn't ready.
Yeah. I was expecting it to happen nowadays.
Oh,
But
I'm used to doing it
I
on
gotta
my
get
show.
my
I
own
didn't know I
bleeper.
was supposed to.
Yeah,
Oh, hold
I gotta
on.
get my
Do it
own
again, do it again.
bleeper. It's like, yeah, he's a piece of shit.
There you
There you go. There you go. There you go.
I gave you the long button too, man.
Yeah. I gotta get myself one of those. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Edge. Again, I said I'm gonna repeat everything I said in the first two rounds. He just plays such a great role of being a bad guy. Going there, I get it. Mankind was. I think I've gone against Mankind every round, but I love
think he
Mankind
has.
moment. But I just realized that just now. I'm like, shit, I'm going against. I mean, because I grew up on Edge. I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like a nostalgic reasoning. But Edge being in the situation was just nothing could top that being a heel. So that's all I'm gonna say for that one. Who wants to go next? Because I don't know who's gonna say what. And
I'll go next.
You want to go next, Jorge? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do this one. I've been watching since '97, so I was there for Mankind. I was there from the start of Edge's career in WWE. So I'm gonna have to go with Edge because I saw him in the Brood, saw him transition to the Edge and Christian, the comedy gimmick, to TLC matches all the way up to now. So that match is just really what set him off to where he's at today. So I'm just gonna have to go with him on that. As much as I hate saying that.
yeah, true. Joel, do you agree, or are you going with Man as a complete clean sweep?
Hell no, I don't agree. It's Mankind 99. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Mankind
yeah.
99. It saved the WWF. This win wasn't even for Mankind. It was just to help
Yeah.
get The Rock over. We don't get
Yeah.
The Rock without
Yeah.
Mankind winning this belt, doing the
Yeah.
Royal Rumble I Quit match, doing halftime heat. All this
Yeah.
is because of this
Man.
title match that leads up to
But
Rock Austin at 15. And
yeah.
that's a lot of faith to put into Mankind just to be like, yo, we need The Rock to be going into WrestleMania 15 hot. So basically, Mankind won this match just to take ass whoopings from The Rock, which was awesome because he did get his moments. He did get his moments getting like the title back and beating Rock. So it was a cool like after. But yeah, this moment I gotta go with Mankind. Just I also don't want to see him get swept, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's more important than just like he won the title and the ratings change. Like we don't get the Rock we have today without that title win.
That is true.
Yeah.
Which
That
is
is,
crazy to think about.
The Rock was looked at as a legit badass after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit him like
Especially
what
that
10
I Quit
times
match.
with that steel chair. I've
10
replayed
times?
that like a few weeks ago. He hit him about a crap load of times. I think like
Yeah.
in front of his
No.
kids and his wife too.
What's crazy is I used to rent that pay-per-view all the time from Blockbuster just to watch that match.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Blockbuster, man.
Damn it,
But
Netflix. Come on.
shout out
Come on.
Mankind, man.
Yeah,
Damn,
shout
I remember we're getting those VHSs too, man. Damn, those chair
Yeah.
shots.
Got
Some of them
reminded,
brutal.
man. Yo, I used
There's
to
a reason why
always
they
get-
have. There's a reason why they stopped that. Thank you,
Oh.
Mankind.
definitely.
Yeah. They do it here and there, but not often as we do. They used to do.
That was a lot happening at that time.
Yeah.
That match was crazy.
Dude,
And then
Yeah.
you watch Beyond the Mat, the doc with like Mankind side. Oh, I feel for the
oh,
Yeah, like, he
after he
took a
got thrown
lot.
off
His body must be like, I don't know how
Oh.
he walks normally as if like he's not in pain, and I'm like, how? I'm hurt for you.
oh man,
DDP Yoga, man. DDP Yoga.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That is true. DDP Yoga. Shout out DDP.
I need
Man.
to pick that up.
I know, me too.
Exactly.
I
My
need to.
back hurts. My back
Yeah,
hurts from trying all those moves all those years.
It's
Don't try
finally
it at
catching
home. I
up.
did it anyways.
It's catching up now.
That was like that's the one thing you don't say to kids. Don't try it at home. And
Yeah,
there
you
we
let them
go.
do.
Flying
Yeah.
elbow.
Come on, you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, you know it's gonna do it anyways. Yeah.
It's just to keep from lawsuits.
We said don't do it.
Yeah, we did say it. We didn't.
It's a legit commercial.
Yeah.
Body's
Yeah.
broken. Referees down. Don't try
Yeah.
this at home.
And bam, twist a fade off the table, off the bed.
Swanton bomb. Everything is the yeah. But yeah, we do have a final matchup: Roman Reigns 2020 Payback versus Edge's New Year's Resolution win. Battle of the Spears Part 2. I'm gonna start this one off, so I can set the tone again. I'm gonna choose Roman Reigns because why not Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns. I love Edge. Love the whole run he went on after that. Everything was amazing with Edge. But look at the reign that Roman Reigns had after. What led to the biggest change of his career, one of the biggest. I would say the biggest glow up in wrestling. To be able to go from someone that was trying to be forced to get everyone to like, to then being a great heel, but people still loved him anyways. That's what I was saying before about in the last round. It was like people love Reigns because he's doing a great job, a better job than what he was doing prior. So he had a historic run, made him an unstoppable force in wrestling. Even though he appeared once in a blue moon, it was like, oh shit, who's gonna face him here? He's gonna beat somebody? Is someone gonna beat him? When is it gonna happen? It got predictable as time went on. Again, maybe that's why they didn't have Cody win the first time at 39. But I think that this last 5 years, even now without the championship, he still feels like a major deal. As like when is Roman gonna show up? When is Roman gonna wrestle? Who is he gonna face? It's still he still puts on great stories as a tribal chief, even with no championship, and he's done a phenomenal job to be the main watch of WWE today. So I want to give it to Roman Reigns. Joel, I want to give it to you. Is it Edge or Roman Reigns?
I love Edge. This moment was everything for the company at the time. The Money in the Bank cash and like seeing what you could do with it. But Roman Reigns is just undeniable. That's kicked off the start of the tribal chief and the whole just the whole bloodline group and all the stories that led up to that. Like you said, got predictable after time, but I think that was the fun part because it was like, who is going to take it off of him? And then when 39 happened, it was like, of course, this is writing on the wall, and they kind of just threw that curveball to you. But also, this is probably like the last character we might see in professional wrestling, and this is the last Vince character that we have on television. And it's insane how you want to talk about like becoming undeniable. This is your story right here, Roman Reigns. Like he became the guy. As much as they want us to say he was the guy all those years leading up to this, he was. The fans just didn't see it that way. But this kind of solidified it. Like, yeah, he is the man. He is the guy around here. So you gotta go with Roman.
Yeah, that is true. Jorge, you gonna agree with us? He's gonna sweep Edge, or
All right, so I'm not gonna let Edge get sweet. As much as I
respect it.
like Roman, right?
I respect.
There's two things for both guys. They're almost on the same level. You got the tribal chief, the rated R superstar, both after these two title wins organically became loved by the fans. Like y'all both said, this was Vince's last character on TV, one of the last characters, the big dog, which he stepped away from that, thank God. And
Yeah.
they finally let him say, like, hey, just do what you got to do on TV. And, we got the tribal chief, which people love to hate and hate to love. And then you had Edge, the radar superstar, who people just hated the shit out of him. And both have had amazing matches after, both had great stories after, both left the company for a little while, or left wrestling for a little while due to different stuff, but they both came back and they dominated in their fields after. Roman being more significant because his leukemia and then came back. Edge with the neck injury, but obviously stayed for a while, went to the other company, but still both wouldn't be where they're at without both these title wins. So I have to give this one Edge so he doesn't get swept.
Good. No, good choice.
No,
Good
I feel you.
choice. But Roman Reigns does win the payback win. Does win this bracket, the best WWE title win between the three of us. There is our winner. Thank you, Jorge. Appreciate you coming on and doing this with us. Great
Definitely.
conversations. Great
Oh
conversations.
yeah,
This was a great topic.
Yeah, it was. It
it was
was for
tough.
sure.
Oh,
It
Definitely a
was
definitely.
tough
tough.
topic.
I think Roman has won a lot of our brackets recently, but
I mean,
it's Roman Reigns. It's
But
it's
it
the
was
way that.
close though.
Yeah, it was.
it
Yeah.
was yeah. This you could make an argument for either one,
Yeah.
like Eddie versus Roman. You can say Eddie Batista versus Roman, Edge versus Roman. You can make the case for either one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that is true.
I guess just because where we're at in today's age of wrestling, it's like
yeah,
that's more fresh on the mind than
Yeah,
if we were
that is true.
done this, years ago, and Roman wasn't even on this table. I think Edge would have took this win today.
probably
Definitely.
yeah,
The final probably would have been Edge and Batista.
probably yeah. I would have
Both
said
around
that.
the same period too,
Yeah.
1 year apart.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. Where can people follow you on social media and your podcast?
I'm everywhere, man. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. We got Facebook pages, Facebook groups. We
And
got
what's your
everything.
social medias so you
All
can
the
follow?
same name, Wrestling Today Podcast. The
Perfect.
one, the only. If you find a different one, that's
It's not
not
him.
me.
Yeah,
It's not me.
yeah, it's not him. Yeah, yeah.
There
We'll.
is a lot of fakes on TikTok,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
I've seen a lot of fake
like
pages on.
if you go to my link tree or to my bio on any of them, there's my link tree. It takes you to all my stuff.
Perfect, perfect.
So,
I'll definitely leave everything in the description so people can follow you and subscribe to you
Definitely.
and definitely check your content out because you have great content, man. But thank you again for doing this.
appreciate y'all for having me here, though. This was
You're welcome,
fun.
man. This
Oh,
is
this was a
fun.
great time.
Different than what I usually do.
Yeah, it's great that we do something different for the channel. A lot of people enjoy something different, but thank you again for coming on. Great time. Again, once again,
Yeah.
I'm Nick, your host. With me is
Yeah.
Joel, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Catch ya.